Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been doing this, 50 years. This is the home of the 5-minute video. I can tell you everything that you need to know. I don't need to wear a nice fancy suit and have books all behind me because everything that I know is still up in my head, and I love to give that information to you. I do this YouTube channel for 3 reasons: to educate you, to inform you, and to give you inside information you would not necessarily get unless you were a former IRS agent and an instructor for many years. I have a whole team of former IRS agents that work with me. I've been on the news quite a bit. You can look at my videos and everything at 777irs.com. And if you have any questions or observations, you can leave them on the comment section. If you need to get a hold of me, you can look at the description section. You can find out how to get a hold of me. As a former IRS agent, I have issued thousands of bank levies. 668As is the form that IRS uses. There's a wage garnishment levy, which is a 668W, but today we're going to talk about the 668A, the IRS Bank Levy, everything that you need to know, and how to get that released. It's devastating when people get that levy. They go ahead to write a check and they find out that the check's bounced, or they go to their ATM to get money out and there's no money in the account because IRS has in fact sent a levy. First of all, IRS gathers their levy information from the bank reporting to Internal Revenue Service. If you want to know what levy information IRS has on you, matter of fact, they need to write that down because that's where they get their levy info from. That's a really good topic. When I'm talking, if I find a topic, I do write it down. But if you go to irs.gov and go to pull account transcripts up and look at your wage and income transcripts, those specifically, they will let you know where IRS has your garnishment information. That is your bank account and their wages. So when IRS sends a garnishment to your bank account, it's because they've issued to IRS a report that says in fact that you have money in that bank or you've got interest from that bank. So IRS knows in fact where you bank at. So what IRS does is if you do not answer their final notice, and by the way, this is important to know because IRS sent you 5 notices, a CP14, 501, 503, 504, and a 1058, and you haven't responded to those notices, and it's possible you never even got them. Sometimes they get returned and you're unfortunately on the bad end of this. If you do not know about that, that money is going to be gone. So IRS, at the end of that period, the computer systematically sends the bank levy out without a person touching it. Now, I'm talking about the cases that are in the ACS unit, which is the 1-800. If the case is with an RO, that's going to be a little different. But today I'm talking about if the case is in the ACS unit, which is the 1-800 number where the letters are generally from. So if IRS runs the cycle of sending you the letters and you don't respond, and IRS thus goes ahead and sends out a form of 668A, that will go ahead and hit your bank account. And the money that is in that account is frozen. IRS does not receive that money to 21 days later. On the 22nd day, the bank is required, and they do this like clockwork, they send the money to IRS. IRS gives you a 21-day period of time to pick up the phone, call IRS, and get the tax levy release, in which IRS will do. That's what our specialty is. Generally, I can get your levy released within, 24 to 48 hours. All I need is your current financial statement. I can call IRS and I can get your levy released. But that is the process. Understand, when that levy hits the bank, your account is frozen that day. If you want to use your bank account, you can go ahead and use your bank account the next day and the next day and the next day. Only the money that was in that bank account that day is frozen. But IRS does want to give you a break. They do want to give you 3 weeks to go ahead and get your money back. So if you want to get your money back and you don't want to contact us, or you don't want to contact a professional, or if it's a very small case, what you do is you got to call IRS with a form 433F. That is the ACS version of the financial statement. IRS will look at it. They want to know what your assets are, and they want to know what your income and expenses are. And what IRS will do when you call them and they receive your financial statement, generally one of two things will happen. IRS will either put you in a non-collectible program for a couple years, or IRS will start a payment plan with you. You can file an offer in compromise, that's a possibility, but generally to get these levies released at this stage, you've got to go ahead and give them that financial statement, and they'll either put you in hardship or payment agreement. So basically, when we call them, we receive your financial statement, we get it documented, we call IRS, we work our magic, and we get you your levy released. Or levies. IRS can send more than one. They can send them to different banks and different organizations, but we will get your levy released, and in the meantime we'll close your case generally with an uncollectible or payment plan. So anyway, that's the process. You know everything you need to know. You know where IRS gets the information from. You can find it yourself, and you know the process of the 668A. And if you need to contact me, look in the description section. You'll find my information. Leave a comment if you would. You want to know more about the bank levy, you want me to do YouTube on it, I'm happy to do that. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate the subscription.